Welcome to the July 25th Commissioner meeting. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody. We'll get started here. We've approved the minutes from the July 11th meeting. I'll entertain a motion on that.
Make a motion to approve minutes from July the 11th. I second.
All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
We've approved the accounts payable vouchers as presented.
I make a motion, we approve accounts payable vouchers.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor signify by
Aye.
And we've approved the payroll docket. I'll entertain a motion on
I make a motion to approve payroll docket.
I second that.
that. All those in favor signify by
Aye.
Jason?
Ready?
Where is your,
Well, I didn't tell Josh.
Oh.
Sorry.
whoops, you're just gonna jump up on me. That's all right. Yeah, don't worry. We have a little change in the agenda, but not everyone
Sit
was.
down?
No, you're already up
You're
there,
fine.
All right, so,
unless you want to sit down.
Naomi Briner's property, up on top of Telegraph Hill, 1623 East Telegraph Hill, we talked about the burnt house. I had talked to their sister today, Amber, and she informed me that, Josh Hill, that is a property just east of that, 1611, Josh and his wife are sitting back here today. That they're gonna be purchasing the property, that they haven't quite got it purchased yet, but they are in the process of that, and that he's got an excavator, he said, showed up today. And a couple dumpsters that are coming, I think, in the next couple of days, so he's gonna try and get that cleaned up before school had started, is what we've kind of talked about. So
As
that's,
early as school starts.
right, so that's,
But
that's where
still
we're at on that
progress.
property, so I don't see any issues there that we need to proceed with at this time. Chad Gray was supposed to come in today and talk about his property down at Brooksburg, about getting that rezoned, but I haven't heard anything. I tried to reach out to him, never got a call back, so I'm gonna assume that that's still, he's still working on getting permits from DNR and NDOT, I think, on that.
Okay.
Marley Coleman, I dropped off paper there with some pictures there. If you want to look at it, I only have two, so if you want to
Go ahead.
look at one of theirs. Arlie's property hasn't had any change since March. I can't get Arlie to answer any calls or answer the door when I go by. I want to see if you guys want to proceed with getting bids on cleanup out there, or what you want to do next.
I think it's worth getting bids, not necessarily having to go forward just at the moment, but figure out them and then let them know.
I've got a couple of guys that can go out and look at it that we've used in the past that can give us, a price. I thought maybe we would start with both of them, have them go out and look at it, give us a price of what they think it would take. But then legally, we have to, if it's over 10 grand, we'd have to take bids on anything over 10, so.
Okay.
I felt like that might be a good start. If that's okay with you guys, I'll proceed with that.
I know he's tried, but I know he's got some just issues that seem to slow him up, so maybe just knowing that we've taken that step, he'll.
Well, the property, but it's really starting to smell
Okay,
really bad. I mean, it's kind of tough walking up to it. And the neighbors are complaining of that. He's got a truck sitting out there that's 2 foot off of the edge of the road. People pulling out of their driveways they can't see. I've asked him, I've emailed him and asked him to move it time and time again. There's always seems to be some kind of issue. This
Okay.
time we can't find the keys, so,
okay.
Okay. Greg Jones's property, he's got, let's see, here's the right one. He's got property out on Fultz Road, 4747 west in DuPont, south of DuPont. I've talked to him several times. It's an old church building that has collapsed on itself. He's still living in the back of it. The property, he says he's gonna clean it up, but there's probably been a pickup truck load moved out of there since March, so it's not going very fast. I got some pictures here. I'll show you real quick. Here, this is 313 on the first two or three. And then these last two are from yesterday. So you can kind of see that he's got a screen in front of it, and I stood beside it and took a picture where you can see behind the screen a little better. You can see there's been a little bit picked up right along the front, but it's not going very quickly. One of the biggest complaints is the buzzards are living in there and coming out to the neighbors, they're complaining about mice and stuff too.
Gotta be full of rodents.
Yeah, so I
Gotta
guess
be.
I'm kind of in the same boat. I would like to maybe have them look at that at the same time they look at our lease and give us some prices and kind of go from there, but I need your blessing to do that.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been off a long time. Hard on the neighbors.
Yeah, and it'll be 2 years, in November since that started to. And I think that's, all I have at this time.
Okay.
So I'll proceed with that and
Yep.
get back with you at the next meeting.
We need to wrap some up. You said you got 31.
Yeah, I've got 31 open cases at this time, so
Yeah,
I'm trying to
yeah.
get some pushed through so we can continue with some others. Any questions?
Thank you folks for what you're doing.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Jason?
Thank you.
Hi,
Hi, Jason.
hi. Jason Franny, Director of Court Services. I'm here tonight on behalf of JRAC, the Justice Reinvestment Advisory Committee, to make some recommendations on behalf of our residential treatment subcommittee. There was 5 recommendations made, and I'll get you guys a copy of it, of the 5 recommendations. So the first 4 are pretty simple. The last one is an either or. So the first one is to and interrupt me if you have any questions or anything. Don't hesitate to let me know if you have a question. The first one is to implement a countywide dashboard to provide regular updates on court cases, crisis incidents, treatment centers availabilities, and other pertinent data. One place, one-stop shopping, basically. If a person is looking for some sort of help or treatment, either for mental health or for addiction recovery, that they have that one place to be able to see for our entire county what's going on. The second one is to collaborate with the Jefferson County Justice Treatment and Prevention Coalition, JCJTAP, to expand prevention initiatives, particularly in educational institutions. So they are a well-established committee here inside of the county, and by collaborating more with them, we would be able to have a better, more cohesive response to these issues. So the third recommendation is to partner with mental health providers and educational institutions to augment the number of licensed counselors, social workers, and peer recovery coaches in Jefferson County. One of the things that came out of our needs assessment with the University of Cincinnati was that there are not enough counselors and social workers and peer recovery coaches here in Jefferson County. And by hopefully collaborating with either Hanover College or Ivy Tech to be able to begin more social worker programs, that we would be able to get more people interested in that field of study, that would then be willing to stay here in Jefferson County and help out our residents. The fourth recommendation is to introduce a volunteer program, JCAP, for incarcerated individuals in Jefferson County Detention Center, which is aligned with the agreement between the commissioners and the city of Madison. I'm sure you guys are all aware that we have been working diligently with the sheriff and with Life Springs and some other people to begin starting at the jail a dedicated treatment partnership with them, so that those people who are incarcerated in the jail would be able to use that time effectively to be able to get the counseling and help that they need. And then once that's done, most of the time they have probation with my agency and everything, and then we would then be able to use that firm foundation that they have there and be able to continue it out into the community. So that program is getting off of the ground right now, and hopefully will be up and running in the next few months. Lastly, and this is the either or program recommendation. So the first one is either Jefferson County Commissioners should seek a appropriate space for a residential treatment facility, possibly with a public-private partnership or land purchase to facilitate the private entity's staffing and management. It is a critical, if you take that recommendation, that the treatments facility sustainability hinges on attracting and retaining qualified professional staff and a serious plan for sustainable operation. You should also consider having a crisis stabilization unit, which is essentially a short-term residential center where a police officer or somebody who is going through a mental health crisis can go in and be evaluated immediately, for about 5 to 7 days. And then that crisis stabilization unit can either keep them, and if they are recovered at that point in time, release them, or if they need long-term care, that they are able to then go to a different county, one of the other ones in the surrounding counties, for long-term care. So that's what a crisis stabilization unit is. And the last part of this recommendation is the commissioners should consider including a federally qualified health center to offer medical and mental health services on a sliding fee scale. This is the federally qualified health center is the newest thing that is coming down the pipeline from the state level, well, from the federal level to the state
Wow. I
level.
wish the
Yes.
state could tell the federal government what to do.
Yeah, right.
You know how that's working.
Yeah, nope. So it goes from the federal to the state level, and it's going to be trickling down to us too. It offers some flexibility in the way that the behavioral health centers operate. It's much more robust in the offerings that they share, and that they are able to collaborate with other agencies other than their own. So if somebody is like Centerstone is operating it and they don't have that, but Life Springs does, let's say inside the county, that it streamlines that process to make that recommendation to Life Springs so that they get the help that they need. It's a much more, instead of a cool competitive nature, which sometimes it's supposed to help them collaborate and make those recommendations quicker. So that's the other one, so this is the last one. The commissioner should investigate the ability of Jefferson County to sustain a residential treatment facility by hiring an engineering firm to conduct a feasibility study. So this study should answer the questions if there's enough qualified treatment staff members or counselors to sustain the size of operations, and what the additional costs would be to operate a Federal Qualified Health Center or CSU inside the facility. So there should be a clear cost benefit analysis to determine if the cost is too great to offset the already existing services in the surrounding counties. So those are the recommendations from JRAC. Any questions about the recommendations? And again, I will get you guys a copy of it so that you guys can, review it at your leisure. You guys have such thing as leisure. So, yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
any questions?
Comment?
It can be a comment too.
This has been a 3+ year process.
Mhm.
I will have to say, when we started courthouse, figuring out what to do with the old jail, this is how this started. So it's kind of snowballed into where it's at now, and those recommendations are very good. I know what I want to do,
Yes.
so now we just need to, now we need to collaborate.
Right,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, and again, JRAC, the subcommittee is here to help if there's anything else that we can provide for you to help you make that decision. Or if there's any other data or anything at all that you guys need, we are happy to help in any way that we can so that you guys make the right decision for our county. We obviously feel like mental health, addiction recovery is extraordinarily important, that it would help our county grow and to prosper. But again, there's always that cost benefit analysis. And if there is something that you guys are missing to be able to make the correct analysis, please let us know. We are here to be able to assist you in any way possible. Okay.
I mean, the first three,
Mhm.
I mean, seem like just things to do. I don't know. I mean, what? I guess other than us saying, yeah, it's okay, go do it. But I mean, is there anything else that, in that recommendation?
No, and it is basically those first three and everything are very simple to be able to implement. It's very cost effective. There's not going to be really much of a cost to it. It's just gathering it in the time to be able to get it and to be able to, like the dashboard, be able to be sure that everybody knows where that dashboard is and everything like that. So there's some work to it, but it's not going to be,
Sure.
hard.
I mean, the fourth one we've kind of talked about for a while, and so I think one of the things that at least we've been told is you need a good coordinator if it's going to be successful.
Yes.
So
Yes, and
any thoughts along?
so I will tell you that we had a meeting yesterday. The JRAC had a meeting. Bob Courtney was there, and so was a lot of people. A major discussion was the JCAP ability and the coordinator. I believe that Bob Courtney is going to be facilitating that, and he, I believe, right now is planning on writing a grant to Bethany Foundation to be able to see if there would be a partnership to help with the coordinator salary and everything. So, but again, there's some other options and everything, but that's the most recent news that I have on that. So, as far as being able to see how we would be able to afford, there's some other grant opportunities and everything too that may be available to be able to help pay for that, that coordinator position. But that is the key position to be able to get it up and running.
I know it's not the easiest of things, but I think probably would be best to have a meeting with
Yes.
JRAC and the city and us to see, because I think we have some resources that we've thought would be a good use for the opioid settlement money.
Right.
If I can get that out, but
Yeah.
those things, and that's not a forever thing, but that's a thing that helps us get started.
Exactly.
So I think it would be worthwhile having that
I agree.
meeting to kind of make sure everybody's on the, I know you guys had one, I tried to call in, but I got,
No,
I know you had trouble too.
Yes, I had trouble.
As I saw
too.
your email.
I know, yeah.
But, yeah, so something like that.
Yeah, and that would be great. I'll help coordinate that and everything, and if there is some way to be able to get that together, I think that would be a great meeting to be able to pull those resources and be sure that, that it is a sustainable position. So, yeah.
the last only to see dollar signs, but.
Yes, exactly. And that's what it really comes down to. And that's why it's not just the upfront cost and everything too, but it's the sustainability. If we don't have, if we build a building, but it's not sustainable, then it's just, you know, it doesn't do anybody
No.
good. So that's why it's the either or. The feasibility study might be a good way to be able to see it and see an engineer. They would be able to tell you the costs and everything like that, to be able to run the facility. And you could also do, you know, a proposal, a call for proposals to see if there might be a mental health provider or something like that that would be willing to step in and say, yes, we'll do it. So.
And that might be worth another, I hate to keep adding meetings, but another meeting
Yeah.
to talk through those options.
Mhm.
And, but yeah, we can put together an RFP.
Okay.
He shakes his head in the background.
Right,
We'll need some help.
okay, no problems. And then just lastly, this is just on a personal note, I just want to publicly on the record, I want to thank Sarah and Hera and Heather and everybody from the courthouse. I mean, I'm gonna make this short, so I don't cry. During this time of need in my family, and they have been excellent in every way, and they are a great benefit to this county. And I cannot speak highly enough about them and for all of you. It has been a tremendous outpouring, and I really, me and my family really appreciate it. So thank you all very, very much. And if you guys could please pass that on to the staff and everybody else too, it is.
It's recorded, okay.
Okay, great.
Tell them to go see it.
Yes,
So,
okay,
and if there are other things that you need,
yes, we will.
Okay.
I will tell you that it has just been, before I can even anticipate needs, people
Sure.
have been,
I know, but there are gonna be things that come up that,
yes,
so
yes.
don't.
Okay. Thank you all.
We're with you.
Okay, thank you very much. Anything else right now?
Thanks. sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for all your work on
Yes, no.
all this.
And again, I mean, this has been a long process and everything to get here. The work's still not done, so, but, so I'm here, anything that you guys need, okay? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
Mr. Goodman?
Thank you. I've given you all a little handout there, so you don't have to listen through a long presentation here. I'll try to hit the highlights. The issue we have is we're up against we being Madison Chemical are up against a hard stop due to lack of water infrastructure to support our health side and safety needs. To give you a little context, we currently employ 121, 74 local. Our employment's up 15%. Since 2022, all our employees are very engaged in the community and very active within community affairs. In the last 10 years, we've invested about $7.5 million in the facility, both in equipment and structures. Right now, we're 65,000 square feet, and we need to add another 15,000 square feet. Given what we do, we fall into the building code of a high hazard H4. We need to create some H3 space. We anticipate this project is going to cost us about $2.5 million. In less than 5 years, we're going to need more office space, and we anticipate that being about a $3 million investment. But we can't do any of this with the current water supply we have for fire suppression. We're submitting an IEDC grant application to hopefully cover the utility costs to get the water across the road. Talk about bringing a 10-inch line across. Our intention is to bring it across at the north side of our property, which would then benefit the county as well, because it would let you put a fire hydrant there to give you fire protection for your diesel and gasoline fuel farm you got in your backyard. What's our plan B if we don't get the IEDC grant? We didn't know if perhaps there might be some American Rescue funds available for infrastructure to get the water line across the road. Bottom line is we can't get a building permit without this 0.4 gallon per minute per square foot And that's a pretty modest amount because that's in the most remote 2,500 square feet of the facility. But when you do the math, all of a sudden, this is over 1,300 gallons per minute. The water tower, the city has 150,000 gallons, so we go through that pretty quick. And they're gonna do some work on their infrastructure to try to relocate their altitude valve, which will help a little bit, but we've got to get the water across the road. We hope we never use a drop of it. I mean, that's the goal, but you can't build without it. We have to have this level of fire protection in order for us to get a building permit to continue our growth. And as I said, we've increased our hiring about 15% since 2022. Bill Torline and Joe Todd are here with me, and hope we can answer any questions you might have. But what we're looking for is some help to get the water across the road. Once we get it across the road, we'll continue a loop, 10-inch loop on our property to provide the water. We met with the sprinkler consultant the other day. We think we can achieve this just with the water line across the road without adding a storage tank and a fire pump in order to give us this level of protection that we're required by the building codes. So that's our ask. We're just looking for some help. Hopefully we'll get this grant. If we don't know if you might have any infrastructure funds that would get the water line across the road. And if you got any more questions, I'd love to have you out for a visit. I don't know, Bob's been out, you're all welcome at any time. And we can show you around the facility and show you what we got going on. And I left a little handout here to kind of substantiate what I'm telling you here. I don't want to drag it out.
Now, is that a 10 across the road? Cause it's on the west side of you. It's
Yeah.
12.
It's a 12.
So will a 10 supply
Yeah.
the 13 that you
Actually,
need?
an 8 will, but as you know.
Like I
the
said,
district
might
calls
as well
it
go
8 and
big or
10,
stay
you might-
home while you're doing it for
Yeah.
future. So yeah.
Yeah, and that would
Okay.
put a hydrant right adjacent to your property, right out in the road. And talking to Mr. Black from Township, because that's where our fire protection, your fire protection comes from.
Mhm.
He said they would desperately like to have a hydrant where they could load their tanker. So that would, in addition to benefiting the county with your facility, it's gonna benefit the county residents by improving their ability to get water. The whole thing's really been driven by the increased residential development in the areas. If we've got data that over the years, the available water continues to fall. So
Okay.
hope that gives you a thumbnail of what we're trying to do. And I don't know if there's any of those American Rescue Funds still available for infrastructure, what you might have to work with.
Take a look at it.
Mhm.
Um,
So when will you know about the ADC grant?
How long will that take, Jeff?
We don't have an exact timeframe, so we'll be submitting that based upon some recommendations. We've actually had a meeting with them this week. We'll have some recommendations to add to our application, be submitting that about probably next week. And, I'm expecting to be fairly quick, although it's a grant. Development grant for infrastructure that they don't commonly do, but they're willing to look at for us. And part of that impacting the county highway garage will be important to that process, because they want to see that this is impactful for more than just Madison County.
They did give us some insight into other things to include with the grant application that weren't on the form. They said, it's really helpful you do this, do this, do this. So we've had a couple of meetings with them on how to prepare a better grant application. Since they haven't really done these, I don't know, what the odds are. And I don't know whether there's any of this ARC money left yet either.
Okay. Cool.
Welcome to come out, and I'll leave that with you. It gives you a little more detail on how these thumbnail numbers came from. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Who is? Say that, what the fuck is it? Huh? Oh,
I'll just
okay.
reference,
Say that,
Lindsay.
look far from
Lindsay called and she's got a
Oh, that's fine.
medical issue in her family, so that's why she couldn't be here. It's basically a Jefferson County voice. It's youth tobacco prevention. coordinator contract. And it would be administrated to the health department. And the contract was to begin July the 1st, 2024, and run through the end of the year. And the dispersal term is $15,000, and it's just strictly a contractor. It is not a hired employee. And she just basically wanted to get it put out there. And I believe she told me that, Bethany contribute the rest to actually make it a full-time employee. If they decided they wanted to do that, but this is basically just to get it started.
Yeah, is she using some of the money that she's getting?
Yes,
from-
it's, yeah,
From that,
it's already
Health First, thank you.
funded, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, started at Southwestern School, and I guess it's really wanting to establish in Madison Consolidated School too, so. I'll try to do the best I could to bring it forward.
You know,
I'm not,
no, I'm just kidding.
it was a quick conversation, so I told her we'd try and bring it out, make it transparent to everybody, so. You figure out when to read through all the contracts.
You with Tim Crawford, who's already doing that at
Mhm.
Southwestern.
Yeah. Well, I would say we can go with it, and then if it would evolve into
Sure.
full-time,
Yeah.
be even better.
The trial period. With all, with both
Yeah.
schools, so I don't know,
So that will be what, 6 months now,
yeah.
July the 1st till December 31st, so.
Talk to the Madison, see if they're interested.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they just like, yeah, let's go do it here. What?
Mhm. You guys okay with that? Yep. Mhm. Get form of motion to approve the coordinator. Mhm. Yeah, I make a motion to approve the Jefferson County Voice Youth Tobacco Prevention Coordinator contract. Okay, I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by
Aye. Okay.
She won't look at me, so let her go first.
We're good. But we did get the check for the Blazer sale today, and I had it deposited into the 403 account for medical. And I just wanted to make sure that
Oh,
you're.
wherever you
good
need,
with it.
wherever you need it and wanna put it, that's great.
Well, I have a couple of kitty cats that need some legs amputated, and,
Oh,
yeah, so.
tell me that.
It will help, it will help with the,
okay,
tips on that, so.
sure. That it provided some help, maybe not quite as much as it got there, but it did something here, so that's great.
We had our first 30-day to adopt, the foster program where we have first failure to call us to let us know what was going on with the animal. And we had to go and reclaim it today, so you might hear a little backlash because she wasn't that happy, but she went well over her 30 days with no contact with us. And it took quite a bit for us to locate her to get the dog back. But we did it. So I may be changing up a little bit of the verbiage that's in that foster, just to kind of
Agreement. Make sure,
help
sure.
this process along a little.
Put some more
easier.
teeth into it.
Yeah, some more teeth into it, because it was a little
Bold,
iffy there at the end, but we got the dog, so.
bold, larger font, underlined, several times.
Mhm.
And we're still struggling with adoptions, it's just, I don't know if it's that time of year, but everybody around us is, so
Cool.
I'm still hanging on to that no-kill status, but I don't know where that's going.
So this mainly dogs then?
A dog and cats.
And cats.
Yeah, there's so many more, I don't know if it's the weather, because it's warm, but we've had a third kitten season so far. And we've got,
And we'll probably have another.
that's what I'm scared of.
Mhm.
There's 3 mama cats there now with a total of about, say, 15, 16 kittens out of the 3 moms. And then we have 6 orphans that come in without a mom. So, and then we got 2 little kittens that need the amputation done, and so it's just been, it's unnerving. Out of all my years of being up there, this is the slowest I think I've ever seen adoption.
Is that like one leg on each one?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If you put them together, they'll both have front legs. One's the right leg and one's the left leg, so. But other than that, we're doing good. Y'all think anything, y'all?
Keep up the good work.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
You
Thank you.
bet.
Move too slow. He's coming. He's running over people as he gets there too, so.
I don't really have a lot going on, but I don't really have much to talk about tonight. Really the only thing I wanted to go over, we got another quarterly income report due to Okra for the revolving loan fund. Started the quarter Q2, we had $32,117.40. We had loan repayments during the quarter of $9,625.06. And our ending balance, $41,742.46. So, and I've sent all those numbers to Sarah, so she's got them. It's due by the end of the month, and I just need a signature from you. There's also job retention, report due, but I'm probably gonna be late on that. Still trying to get all the info on that one. Okay. And that's pretty much it. You don't have any questions?
We're meeting a week from tomorrow, right? Or
Or,
the RDA,
yes, the second,
the
yeah,
second.
10 o'clock at Ivy Tech. So you going? Anybody else going? Salzburg. Salzburg, yeah. Yeah. So you plan to be there? Uncommitted?
No, I have another appointment that I have to be at. So
Okay, well, I plan to go. So,
sound good, thank you.
all right,
So, and they're supposed to announce
yeah.
the winners, right?
Well, they announced today, they announced an executive session for
Right, on the
the
30th.
31st.
Mm,
30th. No, they announced it twice. I
Yeah,
can't
they
remember.
went,
They
they had
changed. Yeah,
mixed
they
up in the,
one of them was
but
wrong,
one
but
of those
anyway.
days.
So I'm assuming that's probably when they're making decisions.
Yeah.
And we'll find out in a second. So fingers crossed on those.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks.
Can any of us attend?
Sorry?
Can any of us? attend?
Sure.
Sure. Ivy
I
Tech.
might run around. Oh, it's Phillipsburg.
Okay. You in the hallway? You're the only one in, I think you're,
Look back, trying to get.
I know.
But no, I don't have anything major to report, so that's a good thing. Don't have a great big ask. I was able to get an additional $1,600 off of the melter that we discussed. So we actually took delivery on that today and be ready to put that to work here in the near future. We've been punching in a lot of culverts, getting things ready for some of the larger projects and drainage projects, cleaning up trees. I was teasing Jeff earlier, we can't seem to buy rain there at our house, but I could tell Ripley County must have got some because Big Creek was running a little bit again. But we just keep plugging, shoving away. I did get a compliment on the job that was, the mowing job that was done out on Doe Run. here in the past few weeks, get some of that cleaned back. I guess there's been several deer strikes back there, and they said, at least now maybe they got a little bit of a hesitation, or they can at least see the deer before they step out from behind the bushes. I do know we've been very active with our mowers. The places that Johnson grass grows really well, you can't hardly tell that we've been there. And we'll get back on those as soon as we can. So that's just, I'm still trying to get some kind of numbers put together for a vegetation control for those noxious weeds, such as the poison hemlock and Johnson grass that grow a lot, because we've got a lot of areas that are owned by folks out of town. So they've kind of gotten overgrown, just that they're fields. You know, it's not like it's a residence or something that you can do anything with to get cleaned up, but it is very time consuming to try to go get those knocked down and pushed back. And as we've been doing a very productive job and trying to be very efficient on the brush control when we have them come in and spray that. And I do know that they do have some programs to deal with the Johnson grass and some other things too. It just added cost, and just a matter whether we're gonna spend it on vegetation or the actual roads and bridges themselves. So get stretched pretty thin and lots of choices to make each and every day. So that's all I've got, unless you guys have got something for me this evening. Oh, yeah, be sure.
Bobby, stick around, I gotta talk
Oh.
to you.
Don't have anything. Nope.
Yeah, that's fine, we can do it, right?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Anybody in the public? Oh, we got Brent.
No, we got Brent.
Over there, or have you been there the whole time? Ah.
You got here early.
You had the front thing.
Good evening.
Howdy, sir.
So we've been finalizing some of the drafts of our training program. We're currently training new employees. That puts us 12 out of 14. We're looking into some software to track our training for our new employees and for our existing employees. With the new Senate bill, we're now required so many hours of training. So getting that digitalized is probably gonna be pretty helpful. So we're looking into that. Last week, we were affected by the CrowdStrike software issue. Caused some problems in the early hours. I'm looking into options to manually switch to backup 911 phones at our PSAP rather than relying on digital to make that change for us. Other than that, that's all I've got. Questions?
Did all that get taken care of? Didn't have to go individually to each computer and
Yeah,
do something? and-
Russell had to log into each computer. One of them was toast afterwards, so they had to replace the,
Toast.
yeah, so they were able to get three of us back up and running, and they came back for the fourth one on Monday, so. And that's it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brandon.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, no, fine.
You are really. Right. Anything?
No.
We're in the public?
I make a motion with adjourn.
I second that motion.
All those in favor signify by aye. Aye. Thank you for coming.